Okay, so picking up where we left off, now we're going to move to the notes that say linear regression. Okay, so when we're talking about linear regression, linear regression, this is just a method for finding the precise line of best fit. Given a set of data. Okay, if you look right here, how does it work? They're going to tell you how to use your calculators. Now, I'm going to make you add in one step here. So the first thing that I actually want you to do is press on your calculator. Okay, so I need y'all to see this on your calculator. I want you to press mode. And I want you to scroll down here until you see stat diagnostic. And since it's on off, I need you to go over here and move it to on and hit enter. And then you can press second mode. So you're just going to first thing hit mode and go to stat diag on. Okay. And then you're just going to follow these keystrokes. You're going to hit stat and hit enter, into your X values into L1, into your Y values into L2. Once you've done that, you're going to go back to stat. You're going to arrow over to calculate. You're going to hit number 4 for linear regression, and you're going to hit enter. Okay, so this information is the information to the table below, shows the average temperature in northern latitudes. They want you to find the line of best fit and then estimate something. So there's your information. There's your calculator. You're going to press stat and you hit enter on edit. Okay, in L1 goes all the X's, and X's are this top and Y's are the bottom. So 0, enter, 10, enter, 20, enter, 30, enter, 40, enter, 50, enter, 60, enter, 70, enter, and 80, enter. Once you have all the X's in, you're going to move over to L2 and type your Y's, 79.2, 80.1, 77.5, and you have to hit enter every time, 68.7. 57.4, 42.4, 30.0, 12.7, 1.0. Okay, now before we do anything else, I want you to make sure that your two columns are even on your calculator. If they're not even, you messed up, and make sure your numbers are right. If you type a number wrong, it's not going to work right. Okay, once everything's filled in on your column, you're going to hit stat again. Okay, so you hit the button stat. We move over to calculate, arrow over, and we're going to select number 4. So you can go down to number 4 and hit enter. And you're going to have to go down to calculate and hit enter. Okay, it's going to pop up with this gorgeous big old long decimals. Okay, you're going to plug in A and you're going to plug in B. We're going to only take 3 decimal places. So I'm going to do Y equals, and I found out that A is negative 1.06, and that 5 makes the 0 go to a 1. Keep X. And then B is positive 92.30, and I only want one more decimal place. So I look at this 8, and that 8 makes that 8 go to a 9. Okay, so there's my equation. Now, the reason all this other information is here, when you look at the R, you're looking to see how close it is to 1 or negative 1. If it is really close to 1 or negative 1, that means it's a very strong correlation. That means it's a good set of data. So the closer it is to 1 or negative 1, this is a good close set of data. Your line of best fit's a good line. If it was like a 0.5 or a 0.4, then that's not very strong. But this is a 0.9, so this is really strong. Okay, to answer B, estimate the average temperature for a city with the latitude of 25. Wow. Okay, so if they're giving you a latitude of 25, if you look up here, and I know it's hard to read, latitude is X. So they gave you that X is 25. So what I want you to do is take the equation we just came up with and plug 25 into that X position. And then just use your calculator to calculate that. So we're going to do negative 1 point, nope, can't type, negative 1.061, open parentheses, putting in a 25, plus 92.309. And you're going to get the answer, 65.784. And I'm going to just have you go ahead and round these to one decimal, because if you look up here, these are in decimals. So this is going to be approximately 65.8 degrees. Okay. Moving on to my second table. Okay. When you're talking about years, there's two ways you can do it. The information in the table shows the Olympic 500-meter men's gold medal speed skating time since 1980. Since 1980 is the start, that's my year 0. 84 is plus 4 years. 88 is 8 years. 92 is 12 years. 14 years for 94 and 18 years for 88. That way you don't have to put in many big numbers. You can just start your first year at 0 and then however many it adds. Okay, so when you go back to stat and you hit edit, do you notice how all this information is still there? You're going to scroll up and make L2 bold and hit clear, enter. And you're going to scroll up and make L1 bold and hit clear, enter. Now you're ready to put in your info. So we have 0, 4, 8, 12, 14, and 18. Okay, moving over to L2, I have 422, 432, 404, 420, 395, and 382. Okay, from here, we're going to do stat, go over to calc. We're going to do number 4, down to calculate. And there is my equation. Okay, so for my equation, remember, I always want 3 decimals. So y equals negative 2.29. And I look at this 1 to tell me that the 2 is not going to change. So 2, keep x. Okay, then I put plus 430 point, because you got to keep everything in front of the decimal. I'm going to keep 5, 6, and I'm going to look at this 2 to see what it does to that 0, and it does nothing, so 0. Okay, now they want me to estimate what the 500-meter time for the 2012 Olympics will be. Okay, they gave me a year. I need to figure out how many years away 2012 is from 1980. So if I went to 1990, that'd be 10 years. If I went to 2000, that'd be 20 years. If I went to 2010, that would be 30 years. And I'm at 12, so this is 32 years. Okay, so now all you have to do is take that formula, y equals negative 2.292, plug in 32, plus 430.560. Okay, grab your calculator, and you're just going to compute that. Negative 2.292, open parentheses, 32, plus 430.560, and hit enter. And you get 357.216. And this would be in seconds, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of round and give it the same number that they have. And since they don't have decimals, I'm going to round. I'm going to look at this 2, and the 2 does nothing to the 7. So I'm going to say 357 seconds. And that's my answer. Okay, I'm actually going to skip this problem. We're going to go to the one on the back. Okay, so when you're looking at the one on the back, if you notice, this one didn't give you anything but the dots. So I'm going to make me a quick table. This is my X, this is my Y. This dot's at 117. This one's at 217.5. This one's at 319. This one's at 420. And the last one's at 520.5. Sorry, that's a 5. It looks like a 3. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to stat and hit enter on edit. I'm going to go up to L2 and hit clear. I'm going to move over and go up to L1 and hit clear. And I'm going to type in my new information. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then I'm going to move over and I've got 17, 17.5, 19, 20, and 20.5. I missed a dot, so I'm going to go ahead and put that dot in real quick. I forgot this first dot. That's at 0 and it's 16.5. Even though it's out of order, it'll still work. So I'm going to go back over here and put 0, and then I'm going to move over here and put 16.5 and make sure that those two still stay together. Okay, from there I'm going to do stat over to calc number 4 and down to calculate. Okay, my equation is going to be y equals 0.87. I look at this 4 to see what it does to 1, and that does nothing, so 1x. And then my b is a plus 16.23. I look at this 0 to see what it'll do to 8, and it's going to do nothing to the 8, so 8. Okay, then they want me to estimate what it will be in 2005. Okay, well, 2005, I got to figure out how far away that is from 1990. 2005 is 15 years from 1990. So we're just going to do y equals 0.871 times 15 plus 16.238. So 0.871 times 15 plus 16.238 and hit enter. That gives me 29.303, and they do have decimals, so I'm going to just say this is approximately 29.30 because we're talking about money, so it can have value. Okay, that's all I'm going to show you for these video notes. If you have any questions or want me to go over any other examples, please let me know.